Hello, fellow investors. I'm screening food distribution stocks, namely SYY Sysco Corporation, PFGC Performance Food Group, USFD US Foods Holding Corporation, and UNFI United Natural Foods. Still under the consumer defensive, which of the four stocks is the better buy? First on the list is SYY Sysco Corporation. This is SYY stock valuation summary, all red, implying overvaluation. Trading at 23.24 times EPS, 25.87 times margins, and historically overvalued. Current PE is 45.09. Compared historically, it's 1.95 times overvalued. 23.18 here is the lowest average historical PE. Current price of free cash flow is 65.74. Compared historically, it's 2.77 times overvalued. 23.7 here is the lowest average historical price of free cash flow. My allowable price of free cash flow threshold is only 20. Current PB is 32.97. Compared historically, it's 3.39 times overvalued. 9.73 here is the lowest average historical PBs. My allowable PB threshold is only 5. The stock is now down 4.27% off the highs. Gives out an annual dividend per share of $1.96. The EPS declined by 0.14 points in 5 years. 3.2 was the highest EPS in those 5 years. They surprisingly bought back 21 million shares despite having very low margins of 1 to 3%. I used the normal 30% margin of safety here, but their margins are so low that I had to disregard it. My entry PEs are still 1, 2, and 3, same as their margins. Payout ratio is so high at 101.03%. That, if dividends are discounted from their free cash flow, they'd have a deficit free cash flow, resulting to issuing debt or issuing shares or burning cash. Their debt level is high relative to their cash and free cash flow trailing 12 months. I don't own the stock. I don't think you should pay premium for the stock. For low margin stocks like this, my second metric is not the best metric to use here to base our fair values and assumptions from. I'm not saying SYY is worth $3.38, but if I screen it the same with the other stocks, you'd get this fair value. Guru Focus's intrinsic value for the stock is $28. Here are the price levels to watch for SYY stock. 3% dividend yield is $65.33, 4% $49, 5% $39.2, 6% $32.67, and 7% dividend yield is $28. 26.66 here is my allowable price of free cash flow of 20, while 13.29 here is my allowable PB of 5. I don't think we'll ever reach those lows, so I think this area here is out of the picture scenario for SYY. This area here, 44.97 to 87.86, however, is the historical PEs. If SYY were to trade like before, this is the area it would probably likely to drop. I'd say trade at $49, own any price below $28. Next stock is PFGC, trading at 223.51 times EPS, 174.45 times margins, and historically overvalued. Compared to SYY, PFGC has attractive PB ratio of only 2.4. Unlike SYY, who bought back 21 million shares, PFGC diluted 53 million shares, has a much lower margins, and does not pay dividends. Here are the price levels to watch for PFGC. $9.8 here is my allowable price of free cash flow of 20, while 13.76 here is their historical PEs. If you had bought it at pandemic lows, you've managed to 5 times your money. This is why you buy stocks at value prices. Obviously, my target entry prices are too far from the current price, so I'd rather avoid this than buy at this level. I only have this stock rated as a hold just because of their PB ratio and go to Focus's intrinsic value of $31.54, which is close to the current price. I'd only recommend you buy PFGC at this area here. Next stock is USFD. The stock is overvalued, trading at 77.38 times EPS, 54.97 times margins, and historically overvalued. Diluted 9 million shares and has a high debt level as well. USFD has attractive PB ratios though, only 1.69, even lower than that of PFGC at 2.4. Here are the price levels to watch for USFD. $8.81 here is the lowest average historical price of free cash flow. $14.72 here is the lowest average historical PE. I'd only recommend you buy at this area. Otherwise, traders don't own this. I have a hold rating on this stock just because of the low PB and Guru Focus's intrinsic value is very close to the current price, $30.6. Last stock is UNFI. Of the four stocks, this somehow has more greens in their valuation summary, which is good. Trading at only 2.44 times EPS, 11.15 times margins, and historically cheaper. Their current PE and current PB ratios look the most attractive of the four stocks. If there is a buy of the four stocks, it would be this one. Let's look at the price levels to watch for UNFI stock. This area here is the lower band of the historical PEs. If you could buy at these areas, that would make a great position for a trade. This is the four stocks of the food distribution sector. I won't recommend buying any of these stocks for the long term at these current prices. I think these stocks are for trade play. Again, UNFI I think is the better buy of the four, but no dividends. That's my take on these four food distribution stocks. See you next video, more consumer defensive stocks to review.